What exactly would you do if you were fired? The first 30 days are absolutely important, and a lot of people make the mistake of not doing the right things in the first 30 days. Imagine you are working in a company for 5 years, 10 years, and then you are called in a meeting, and in 7 minutes, your boss tells you why they cannot continue with you or why your services are no longer required, and they ask you to leave. When that happens, most of us feel really disappointed, angry, and we are in a state of shock or panic, right? This happens because it is natural. Everybody feels bad when they are told or when they are asked to leave. And we know that layoffs are a part and parcel of our career. But when that happens with us, we are still in that disbelief. We are not ready to accept it. I will tell you today, step by step, what exactly you should do. First of all, let the news sink in. Take some time to process the news. Okay, don't act angrily. Don't write anything about the company or about anybody on LinkedIn. Okay, just process the news. That's the first step. Second step is to understand the severance package. A lot of companies give you a lot of benefits. Even though they are asking you to leave, they will pay you certain amount for, let's say, the next 3 months. They will give you some basic salary or some sort of financial assistance they give. Okay, sometimes they'll also make sure that you are insured for the next few months. So first, go and talk to the HR and understand your benefits. And then also understand if your company is giving you any resume services, job search services, or any career coaching services. So take advantage of all of that. Okay. Once that is done, then move to the next step, which is to get feedback from the people with whom you have worked. So it can be your ex-clients, it can be your current manager, current colleagues, or ex-managers. Get feedback from everyone in written format that you can use as a testimonial or as a reference in future. Along with it, it is very important to also keep a track of what all documentation you will get. For example, relieving letter, experience letter, at least last 6 months pay slips, few years of Form 16 with you. Also, if you have done any certification, then make sure that you keep those copies as well. And if you got any salary hikes, then keep a track of that as well in the form of appraisal letters. So take all of this documentation, download it from your company, and keep it in your email so that you have it handy when needed in future. Also, important aspect is to understand how much gratuity and how much PF will you get. Once you have taken care of all of this, then the next step is to understand your savings versus your expenses. So this is actually your safe runway. Understand how many safe months do you have. If my monthly expense is 1 lakh rupees and I have kept aside 6 lakh rupees, then it means that 6 months is my safe runway. Why I'm saying this is, it is absolutely important to make sure that the basics run smoothly. For example, if you have to pay school fees or if you need to pay grocery expenses or medical expenses, all of that should be covered, and for that you should have an emergency fund. So calculate that part. Next important part is once you lose your job, after that day, you are not covered for health insurance by the corporate. So you will need to buy one on your own. So please go ahead and buy that. For that, you will have to talk to few companies and understand the plans and benefits, but buy one. Health insurance, it is very important. Now, once all of this is done, actually by now you should have informed your family. But I know a lot of people who keep the bad news with themselves. They somehow are not comfortable sharing this layoff news with their spouse or with their parents or with their children. You will have to tell them, okay? But figure out the right time, figure out the right words, and then share the news with them. So along with the news, also tell them what exactly is your plan to find another job and how you're going to take care of the monthly expenses. So that is a very important aspect, which is getting everybody on your side. After this is done, look for any expenses that you are doing as a family which are not required now. For example, if you have any paid subscriptions to any services which are luxury or which are not basic need, stop those services. So you need to basically stop anything which is eating your money, because now your salary is going to get stopped. So you cannot afford to lose money on monthly subscriptions which you were doing earlier. So avoid any extra expense that you can. All right. Once that is done, the next step is to go and talk to your bank if you have any home loan or EMIs and tell them your situation. Ask them if they can actually help you extend the loan period, or maybe if they can excuse you and give you some exception if you do not pay few months of EMIs. So banks have mechanisms to take care of that, but you'll have to go and talk to them. If you wait till the last minute and don't inform the bank, and bank starts to see that you are not able to pay your EMIs, then it will not be a very pleasant scenario. So it is better to go and speak to them in person in the bank and look for whatever options they have. Now, once this is done, the next part is to think about your next job search options, for which you need to first think about what kind of role you want to target, what type of company you want to target. Once that is fixed, then you go ahead and create your resume and LinkedIn and Naukri profile accordingly. Just don't do any random job search by creating any random resume and applying everywhere. It will not give you any results. Please make sure that it is very targeted, very specific and thought through. Once you have created a tailored resume and you start to apply, that is the time you also start to prepare for interviews. Once you prepare for interviews, you also have to give mock interviews, for which you can take help from some of your friends. You can take help from your ex-colleagues, or there are some people who provide mock interview as a service, which is a paid service. You can consider that as well, depending on what is your need. These days, thanks to ChatGPT or any other Gen AI, you can use that tool as well to create a mock interview for yourself and then do the practice with the GPT. So that's also one more thing which you can consider. So while you are doing this, in parallel, you need to join certain communities. So you need to join job search related groups on Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, and LinkedIn. There are a lot of groups and communities where people float information about interviews, walk-ins, etc. So please make sure that you join those communities. All right. And then the final step is to start to write on LinkedIn about who you are, what you do, and what is your expertise, and showcase your skills and talent with respect to certain case studies or any other thing which you can bring from the past. I also recommend that you create a list of at least 50 people from your network. These are the people that you know from the past, either your ex-employees or your clients or ex-clients. Create a list of 50 people and start to reach out to them. Start with 50 and then grow it further. It is so important to be connected with people, because you never know from where that job lead is going to come. And if you really know good people or influential people, and if the influential people know you, then you can use that relationship to land your resume directly in their inbox, which can directly go to the decision makers. So referral works fine that way if you are connected with the decision makers or the influential people sitting on the top. And don't forget to create a job search tracker. You can use Excel or Notion, but create a simple job search tracker. I have shared it with few people already. Let me know if you need it in the comments, because if you don't track it in an Excel sheet, you will find it difficult to keep track of how many jobs you've applied for, from where you've got a call, how many rounds you have cleared, or where you need to follow up, to whom you have messaged on LinkedIn. It is important to keep that in one place. You should in fact create a week by week plan and put all of these activities that I spoke about in a weekly fashion, so that you know exactly what action you need to take when. If you don't do it in an organized fashion, everything will be in your mind, but it will be all cluttered and you will feel overwhelmed and you will feel confused. You will not even know if you are making progress, and you will feel as if you're doing a lot of work and nothing is moving. And lastly, please keep patience. Job search takes at least 90 days of time to even get the right network in place and get some calls. So please be patient with the process. If you have the right skills, there is a job for you. If you have the right attitude and right experience, there is a job for you. It is just a matter of time that you give some interviews, learn from those interviews, perform better, and grab that opportunity. I believe everybody can get that job. The only way you cannot get a job is if you stop trying and if you do random efforts. Do organized efforts. I am sure you will definitely get a job very soon, even if you are hit by a layoff. I hope this video was helpful. Do hit the like button and share the video in your WhatsApp groups. If you have further questions, add them in comments. And before you log off, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in another video soon. Take care and bye for now.